Hey students, Lori here for our rooted recap from May 27th. And so on Wednesday, yesterday, we looked at Philippians chapter 4, verses 4 through 9. So Philippians is a letter from Paul to the believers of Christ in the city, in the town, in the village of Philippi, probably more like a city. So the group of believers there. And so our verses, Philippians 4 through 9, says this: Always be full of the joy in the Lord. I say it again, rejoice. Let everyone see that you are considerate in all you do. Remember, the Lord is coming soon. Don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Tell God what you need and thank Him for all He has done. Then you will experience God's peace, which exceeds anything we can understand. His peace will guard your hearts and minds as you live in Christ Jesus. And now, dear brothers and sisters, one final thing. Fix your thoughts on what is true and honorable and right and pure and lovely and admirable. Think about things that are excellent and worthy of praise. Keep putting into practice all you've learned and received from me, everything you heard from me and saw me doing. Then the God of peace will be with you. And so in this section, Paul, who is writing from prison, you could say he was under a stay-at-home order in Rome, was writing to this group of believers in Philippi, and he was telling, look, rejoice in the Lord always. I'll say it again, rejoice. Rejoice. What does it mean to rejoice? It means to celebrate. It means to praise. It means to give thanks, to be full of joy. And he doesn't say just be full of joy, when things go right. Be full of joy when your grades come back and you get an A. Full of joy when your grades come back and you get a C and you were not expecting that. Full of joy when you find money in your pants pocket. No, he's saying full of joy always. Even when your friends are, talking bad about you. Rejoice even when it's raining and you can't go outside. Rejoice even when there's a pandemic and schools and events and sports and everything has been canceled. Rejoice. Be full of the joy in the Lord always. Always. That is hard. That is hard to do because we have this tendency to focus on the negative. And that's what, he's talking about in verses 8 and 9. Instead of focusing on the negative, instead of focusing on what we can't do, instead of focusing on what we have to do that we don't want to do, we need to focus on what is positive. Be focused on what is true. On God's truths. Focus on what is honorable. Focus on what is right and pure, what is good. Focus on what is lovely and focus on what is admirable. Focus on the good that is going on around you. Don't let those negative thoughts about what you see on the outside world get into your heart and bring you down. Don't let those negative thoughts about what you see in yourself get into your heart and bring you down. For you were created in God's image. God looked at you and said, yes, I need one of those in this world. I need you in this world. And I love you so much that I would send my son to die for you. That's how much God cares for you. So we need to get all of those negative thoughts out of our heads. We need to stop being negative Nancys. And we need to start being some positive Pollys. We need to start being positive. Start understanding the truth of who God made us to be and what God made us to do. Because He has, from that point, He says, keep putting into practice all of you've learned. Keep putting this into practice. Keep being joyful. Keep putting joy and rejoicing into practice. Keep being considerate into practice. Keep praying. Keep telling God what you need. Keep thanking God. Keep praising God. And God will grant you peace that will guard your hearts and your minds as you seek to follow Christ's way. And so as we think about Philippians 4, this is a book that is telling us to be joyful in all circumstances, that we can go to God with anything and everything, that when we aren't joyful, take it to the Lord, and he will grant you peace and understanding as you seek him. This is telling us that we need to fix our eyes on what is true, fix our eyes on Jesus, for Jesus said he is the truth. Remember, we talked about that a few weeks ago. And we need to do these things and keep putting them into practice. And as we continue doing these things, we will grow, we will become more joyful, we'll become more patient, we will grow in maturity and grow in faith. And so the world needs us to do this right now. From everybody, from the youngest to the oldest, we need to rejoice in the Lord always. We need to pray about everything. And we need to fix our minds on what is good and put that into practice. There's a lot of things going on in our world right now that are not from God. But as Christians, we can make a difference. We can stand up and we can love one another, and we can share this peace, this love, this understanding that only comes from God. All right, friends, I look forward to seeing you all next week. Hopefully, some of you guys will be able to join us on campus as we begin to reopen. So we will be meeting on campus Wednesday from 7 to 8. But stay tuned for more Rooted Recap videos, more online things that you guys can participate in as well as we do that. All right, guys, take care. Have a good week and enjoy your weekend. Bye.